Hey, 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 happy July 5th. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm so excited. I just want to throw it all out there. God gave me a dream this morning before I even got out of bed. I'm going like, man, what's my goals? I always kind of just hem-haw around, not sure what my goals are. My goals are passionately to be a unit circle club. 300,000, that'd be the first time. And to be a unit circle club. If our unit is in the unit circle, you guys will get more recognition and you get more perks. Okay. So, not any more than 50% off on your products, however, but you get more perks and you get recognized for being in a unit circle club. So let's not work on that. We have to do it. Unit stands for you and I together, you and I together. So we have to do it together. And how we're going to do that is we're going to add people to our unit. We're going to double our unit size. Double our unit size. That's how we're going to do it. And keep working, keep doing faces and doing all the things. Okay, so my training today is I pulled up I was getting ready to throw all this away because I don't have it in a notebook. And I don't know about you. I take notes in notebooks, take notes in notebooks. And then once I'm done with the training or the event that I went to take those notes, I never go back in the notebook and relook unless I'm looking for something. I never go back over the notes. So a lot of the training I've had on the run this last year, like the hot call and some other things, I just take a piece of paper and I just write down my notes, my takeaways. So I'm going to go over there and I'm hoping that I pull this out. I pull this stuff out off of my notes. Some of it I've highlighted. It's really good. And some of it, so it's not going to be in any, I was trying to get it in specific order. However, that's not going to work because I have too many notes here that I would have to decipher through and then rewrite it down by hand. And I don't want to take the time. Time in one area is time away from another area. Just remember that. We all have a choice of what we do every single day, every single minute. You have a choice of time you're going to get up, what you're going to eat, what you're not going to eat, what time you're going to go to bed, what time you're going to go to the bathroom, what time you have choice, what time you're going to take your lunch. You all have choices. It's not mandatory. We are not in prison. Funny that I say that because when June gets locked in her living room in here, she literally has the gate across. She calls it prison. She's locked in prison. She doesn't like it anymore. When she was younger, it was okay, but now she doesn't like it. She calls it prison. So you are not locked in prison. You do not have handcuffs on you. You can work your business the way you want to work your business. You can work an outside job the way they want you to work your outside job. When you punch that time clock, I know, I was there. I did it for 12 years. I worked both jobs. And my hours were atrocious. However, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel of when I could retire from one if I just kept going in this job. You know what the key is? I never quit. I was explaining that to a guy yesterday that I met at the 4th of July block party. He said his wife needs to work. I said, well, she's Mary Kay. He goes, teach her how to drive a truck. I'm going like, oh, Mary Kay. Nobody wants to drive a truck the way I used to have to drive a truck. Nobody. And they don't have it the same way anymore anyway. People are lazy. The truck drivers don't know how to shift. They have automatics. They couldn't shift a 2-sticker. They couldn't shift a 13 speed, 18 speed, backwards 10 speed. They couldn't do that because they don't know how. So anyway, enough of that. But I told him Mary Kay, and he goes, oh, she's been in, and I'm sure you've heard all of this before. She's been in the jewelry. She's been in this. Cups. She's really creative at making cups. However, she spends $60 for the stuff to make the cup and only charges $50, and then she spends hours making the cup. And we have a lot of cups left. And so I said, well, Mary Kay is you get in it what you put out of it. You do. I said, we make 50% profit, but the key is don't quit. I said, I never knew that I couldn't quit. He goes, really? I said, yeah. I said, because I was making extra money when I was laid off. in the winter. I was making extra money. Why would I want to quit when I was making money? And, you know, I told him, I said, one of the biggest things is if a consultant would come in and be willing, that is an option. You're not forced, you're not in prison, willing to learn what it takes to hit the goal that they want. God puts a goal in your heart, a dream, a vision, and that's what we're working on this weekend. Saturday, today, I'm going to go over some things. Vision casting is on Monday at 5 p.m. I hope you're on there with me. Georgia's doing what do you call it? Preview party or whatever it is. She's having people over her house to do that. But I'm not having you over to my house. Sorry, I love you all, but you're not coming Monday. We're having a pool party and a potluck on Tuesday. And if I have a playback, we can watch it on Tuesday. Maybe we're going to be out in the pool. Make sure you bring your suit. So at least you can get wet. I will have fans set up out there. But we're going to just kind of have some, you know, girl time. So anyway, you know, we all have a dream and a vision that God has given us. Think of yourself in 5 years from now. Do you want to be in the same exact place doing the same exact thing that you're doing today? I hope not. I hope you personally want to grow. And that's in Mary Kay what we do. We personally grow. You know, and it's funny because he told me, well, my wife is not a people person. She couldn't come up and talk to people. However, at the party, she was talking to everybody. Go figure. And I know she didn't know anybody. She didn't know me, and she talked to me. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a thing. You're not a people person. She's not a salesperson. Well, you're not I wasn't a salesperson either. I liked the way my skin was changing. Then I decided to share it with other people. Okay. Now I could sell baskets in the holiday, but for me to start building my skincare customers, it had to change my skin. And when it started changing my skin, I started telling people about it. Not just the people that needed to change their skin, mind you, but telling everyone, all people. Because the people that have it all together, maybe you can just get them to compare it to ours, whatever they're using. Great brands, you know, whatever. CeraVe, never put a brand down. Always say that's a great brand. And if they say, what are some of the things at the grocery store, whatever their brands are, I don't even know, Walmart brand or whatever. Just say, oh, okay. You don't have to say it's a great brand, but say, oh, okay. I'm glad you like that. What do you like about it? You know what I mean? But anyway, so we're not here on sales. We're here for other reasons. So it's time to set your goal, to get a clear goal. That's number one. You need to set your goal. Figure out what it is. What did God give you? And I don't know what the goal is he gave you, but I want you to know, and how I always thought is I didn't know failure was an option. I didn't know you could quit. You got to have a champion mindset, you know, a champion mindset that you're going to win. Are you a winner, or do you quit at stuff? Think about it. Do you stay in it to play to the end, or do you quit? I don't know. I don't quit unless I see that it's really not good for me to continue, and I'm never going to fix whatever it is I'm working on. I don't quit. I find a way, make a way to make it work. You know, especially when I'm fixing things all the time. So you know, what do you need to continue doing in your business, and when do you need to stop doing in your business? Is your business working the way you're working it, or do you need to do something different? Think about that. It's pretty simple. I mean, Mary Kay made this business simple. Keep it simple, sweetie. Made it simple. And all of the pioneers went before us, laid out the plan laid out. They did all the hard work. If we just follow the plan, it will work. What I find is when I take the detours and try to do it my way instead of the way that they say we should do it. I mean, sure, you're going to put your personality in it, but follow the plan. Okay. But you need to take some time to set your goals, your clear goals. And then you need to embrace the change that's going to come when you set those goals. You're going to change. You're not going to be the same person you are today as you're going to be in 6 months from now, because you set the goals and you're working towards a goal. Have the growth mindset, have a champion mindset. Always have continuous learning. Always want to learn. A leader never quits. A leader never stops learning. I would hate to thinking back before Mary Kay, that my mindset was the same way it was in 1999. I would hate that. I was living in fear. I was trying to make better for my life, and I was up against a lot of obstacles. I had a lot of I don't want to say bad things in my life at that time. Things were going on that weren't good, and I couldn't figure out why. It's because God was shifting. But continue your learning. Be obsessed. You know, Craig Rochelle said, obsession, focus, care, and commit. How we focus, how we care about people, and how we commit. Good requires motivation. If you want to be great, you need to have obsession for what you're doing. Have an obsession for taking care of your skin. Have an obsession for actually teaching people. That's all we do. We wash our face and we teach people how to wash their face with a good product and let them decide if it's for them. Be obsessed with the person you are becoming. So you will have the personal growth. So be obsessed with the person you are becoming. You're not there yet. There's never an end to our story until we are up there. Until he comes down to get us and says, okay, your time's over. You did your job. Good job, faithful servant. So you're going to be learning and growing this whole time you're here on earth. So why not do it the Mary Kay style? Blessing people. What you're learning to, what you're listening to, and what you're reading is going to make the difference on your personal growth. Who are you called to be? Are you called to be a student? Are you called to be an iron worker? Are you called to be a welder? Are you called to be a truck driver? Are you called just to be a mom? And when I say just to be a mom, that is a hard job. You know what? That's why I worked driving a truck. Staying at home, being a mom was harder than punching a time clock and going to work. And I checked out from the home life. I'm just saying, I capped to it. I did it. I know it is hard to stay at home. We are becoming to take the people to another level. We are becoming so we could take other people to another level. You are growing, and when you grow, the people around you will grow, and the people you meet will grow. You're going to take them to another level in life. What are you doing, and why are you doing it? You've got to know. That's the goal set. What are you doing, and why are you doing it? There is going to be some pain, but pain is not a sign that this is not your time. There's going to be people that are mean, and it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be here. If people say no, don't take offense. If people don't return your call or your text, don't take offense. Move on. Move on. You know what? Move on. So you can get the best that Mary Kay has to offer you for your personal growth, for your lifestyle, for your family. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to the gal that helped me at, I want to say Mervyn's, Kohl's. Sorry, old school. I got her name and number. I've texted her. Did she respond back? No. I also reached out to the gal at Sonic. Did she respond back? No. I mean, I actually physically met her and said, love to pay for you, give you a gift card. You know what I mean? Did they reach back? No, because I mean, the one at Kohl's says, oh, I used to use Mary Kay. So and there's a long line or I would have talked to her longer. I said, oh, you did? She was going to ask me about a product and we had to go because there was more people in line. But whole point being is she used to use it and she just had a smile on her face. Oh, I used to use it like a memory. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you need to have personal activity. And with that, you have to have the crazy faith and the crazy works. Crazy works is dead. Crazy faith without crazy works is dead. So you're going to have faith. Faith without works is dead. So you're going to believe that God's going to do something, but you're not actually going to put forth the effort to do it. And that's not going to work. You need an abundance of leads. So figure out how you're going to get leads. Are you going to put out facial boxes? Are you going to get referrals from your facials? Are you going to meet people on the street, meet people at work, doctor's office? You're going to pass out books at doctor's office, dentist office. I've got to put together some pampering packs for the girls at the dentist office over here. How are you going to get leads? And I'm hoping to get leads. That doesn't say I'm going to get a lead over there. I'm going to ask. There's 6 people in the office. Surely one will want to do something, right? Maybe I can go in and do a lunch thing at the on their lunch, satin hands on their lunch or something. I don't know. Passion will move you. So you got to figure out where you want to land. We just started the new year. So take it in increments. Where do you want to land by the end of July? Where do you want to land by the end of the quarter? Do you want to be a star? I say yes on Star Consultant. I've been a star 90 something quarters. I can't even tell you. I think 91. And I wasn't taught how to be a star. But once I learned to be a star, I was a star. You know why? Stars, they used to say stars earn cars, which when consultants could get cars, stars would earn cars. But this is what I know. I'm a star, and the higher the star level you are, the more people Mary Kay will send to your website. That's how I get people. People I don't know, they just automatically find me in the search, go to my page and order. I don't even know who they are. And they order over and over again. I've got a gal that just ordered on July 1st. Have not a clue who she is. Never met her, but she orders consistently, almost every single month, a little bit, little bit, little bit. She likes it that way. So be a star. I want you to write this out. If you were to have a $5,000 or a $10,000 upgrade, what would you do with it? Like if you were to make this quarter an extra $5,000 or this month extra $5,000, $1,000, what would you do with it? That's part of your goal setting. What would you do with the extra money? How much extra do you want to make? And what would you do with it? Would you save it? Would you spend it on a family trip? What would you do with it? Think about that. Because you can make as much. It's endless. Like he told me yesterday, he goes, you have endless amount of money you can make. That's right. There's no cap. So think about that and do a goal poster. Put on there, do a goal poster of your goal. If you want to take a trip with your family, put your family on there, put where you want to take them, and put it somewhere where you can see it all the time. They said trash your house with goal posters. I used to do that. I used to. Well, I haven't lately because I haven't. I used to have it in my bedroom and then out here in my office. And I think I got frustrated because we weren't hitting the goals, but I wasn't trying enough. I wasn't working enough. I wasn't working smart enough. I wasn't having enough help in my office to help me achieve what I needed to achieve. But back to the point, figure out what you would want to make extra and why you would want to make that much extra. Is it to pay bills, take a trip, pay a car payment, pay a house payment, what would it be? Put it in the savings, kids' college, what would it be? Figure it out and write it down, take a picture, make a goal poster. On Monday night, they will probably work on vision casting to give you some ideas. But right now, I'm just briefly going over this. Okay, so to achieve these goals, do you need to know more? Or you just need to implement what you've learned? Have you learned enough? You know, I have to go back into Mary Kay InTouch and take more of those classes. I wanted to get them done so I could get recognized at seminar and be on my bling badge. So all the classes I didn't take, and there's a lot, I didn't know. Didn't know that they had new classes on there. So I need to go back through and I need to take them before I go to seminar. And so I can have it on my bling badge because we get recognized for everything that we do. So do you need to know more? Do you need to learn more? Or do you just need to implement what you know? Think about that. If someone is where you want to be, what is she doing that you are not doing? Just example, I am where I am with my sales. What am I doing that you're not doing? Like, I want to be in a Cadillac director. I want to be a unit. I would love to be on the trip to Zurich this next year. Where's my girlfriends? I got girlfriends on that trip. What are they doing that I'm not doing? I need to ask her. I'm going to reach out and text my girlfriend and say, what are you doing that I'm not doing? I want some information. I want to learn so I can earn a trip. And she'll tell me exactly what she does. So if there's somebody above you that's selling more than you are, reach out to them. Say, hey, what are you doing that I'm not doing? I would like some information. And then if you're doing it and you're not getting the results, let's figure out why you're not getting results. Let's go over the steps and see why you're not getting results. Okay. You actually do know what to do, but it's time to do what you know what to do. Does that make sense? You actually do know what to do, but now it's time to do what you know to do. Sometimes we try to take shortcuts on the steps that we take to do what we know to do. And we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it all out. So we'll skip step number 2 and just jump to step number 3. That's not how it works. Sometimes you can do what someone else is successful at, but it's a flop for you. But they can have more passion. That's why it doesn't work for you. So you've got to be passionate. You can't be pushy salesperson. You've got to have joy in your heart, passion about the products. I love the products. That's why I sell the products, because I love the way my face is and my skin. And that's why I started selling it, doing facials, is because I loved the way my skin was feeling. I want you to remember this. Everyone has a Mary Kay story. However, it's different. I don't want to make sense. Everyone has a Mary Kay story. However, it's different in my organization. Sell them on what we do here in our family. Everyone has a story. They do. All the people you meet, I just kind of remember, I just took notes and I have to trigger my memory here. Everyone in life has a story. They do. You see the homeless people, if you go up to the homeless people, they all have a story of why they are where they are. However, if you meet somebody and they have a story and they're not buying, or they don't want to join your team or whatever, I don't want to say sell them on the idea that your team or Mary Kay is different than it is, another. But like that guy yesterday, I had to explain to him. So I kind of was selling him. I was selling him that Mary Kay is different than all the other organizations that his wife had gotten into. She'd gotten into quite a few, and he says it cost us lots of money. He goes, I just want her to work. But then again, she might not have had a training. She might have not had somebody to work with her by her side to do all the things, especially in jewelry. You got to remember, we have a consumable product, and you need to let people know it's a consumable product. They put it on, they wash it off. They put it on, they wash it off. It's consumable. So it's not like lasts forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, did you know that you were on a kingdom assignment and we are in a marketplace ministry to be the leader God called you to be? You're on a kingdom assignment to be who God called you to be. Mary Kay is just a vehicle that we use to reach the people. And when you have passion and you have the light of Jesus in you, nothing can stop you. You know that, right? I'm sure you do. Be obsessed, have a plan. It says, got to have a coach. You got to have somebody coaching you. You got to have a partner. You know what? Power partner. Power up with somebody. Somebody that's moving and shaking like you are, or where you want to be. Power up. Have somebody to coach you, to help you, to work with. Again, it says have a high tolerance to pain. Most people want to stay the stage, but not the stages. Decide to be coachable. Most people want the stage. They want to get it done and be recognized and have all the things. Do you know what it took? It's just like, I know Linda Tupin and some other ones have posted this thing about like iceberg or whatever in the water, whatever it is, it comes out. But underneath the water, you don't know what it takes to get this. So your high tolerance for pain doesn't mean physical pain. Okay, just saying. Well, unless of course you hurt yourself, but it's not physical pain. Most of it, uh, you know, is not physical pain. Most people want the stage, but not the stages. You are on a journey. When you grasp that you are on a journey that God has created for you, He's already planned it. He's already worked it out in advance, where you're going to live, what you're going to do, and all of the things. Just pay attention to it, okay? Something needs to shift, okay? I did not go through DIQ to become a sales director to sell product. Well, I kind of thought I did, but I didn't. I went through DIQ to not just sell the product, but to change lives. That's why. I did not go through DIQ to be a star consultant, because at that time I was barely learning how to be a star consultant. I did my DIQ in 3 months, working night shift, 11:30 at night to 11:30 in the morning. But I prayed about it before I went into DIQ to be a director. And God says it's time. And He did it. I didn't do it. I just did what He told me to do. I was talking to everybody, passing out a card to everybody, whether I was in Mary Kay attire. And back then we had to have, that's when we wore nylons and closed-toed shoes and barely had cell phones. I've been a director for 20 years. What did we have back in 2005? I had 2 cell phones for work. But we had to dress the part. We couldn't go out like t-shirt and shorts and sandals and pass out a card. That's not how we did it back in the day. Nowadays, we can. So you just have to have your Mary Kay face on. Look kind of cute. I don't wear lipstick all the time, but I usually wear lip balm. But just look cute. You know, look like you're not rolled out of bed in pajamas when you pass out a card. Don't do that. We are called to take people someplace they had not been, if they had not been connected to us. So because you're connected to me, I'm called to take you to another level, a different place, to personally grow. God creates us and connects us together for a reason. And I'm assigned to make sure that you do what He wants you to do, to grow you. So we're connected for a different reason. It's not about what you do. It's about the passion in what you do. You can intentionally shift. Again, passion comes up. Are you passionate about what you do? Or are you doing it for the dollar signs? Mary Kay says, get the dollar signs out of your eyes. She always loved the people. Although I didn't meet her in person, but I've met all the people that she trained, you know, the people, her people. And so that she personally trained. and you got to get the dollar signs out of your eyes. Sure, you're going to make money if you quit stressing over the money you want to make. Whenever I focused on the dollar signs instead of having joy and passion in my heart, I didn't make the money. I fell short. Fell short. When you start focusing on the people more, because they all go through different things, remember, they are not having the same lifestyle as you. And you never know what somebody's going through. You don't know if something tragic just happened to them. You don't know. So let me see. Get mad, make a decision, or get motivated and determined. Okay. Let me see what else I want to do. Okay. AMA. AMA, acceleration, multiplication, accumulation, a gradual buildup of adding customers. AMA. So say ask me anything, but it means something different. And I over F multiplied by G equals MA. Do you know what that is? I over F times G equals MA. Intense focus over time multiplied by God equals momentum and acceleration. Write that down. If you have to put it in front of you all the time, then write it on your goal poster. Intense focus over time, consistency. Not just this week, not just today. Consistency is the key, and I preach it all the time. That's how I did what I did as many times as I've done it, is because I was consistent on my faces, consistently. I probably have between 3,000 and 5,000 profile cards of people I facial. Now, I'm not saying that we have Zooms. Now, we have virtuals. We didn't in the day. So I have everybody I do a virtual with, I fill out a profile card for, because I need to keep track on what I sent them in the mail and what they liked and what they didn't like. Hold on. Okay. So I want you to get stuck in the joy zone, get stuck in the passion. The top priority is keep the main thing the main thing. Whatever's important to you. Your success rate is in between one appointment and the next appointment. So if you wait, do one appointment this year and one next year, your success rate is pretty slow. I mean, if you talk to one person today, but don't pass out a card for another year, 6 months or a year, your success rate is going to go down. So remember that your success rate is in between one appointment, one meeting, one new client, one new pass out a business card, one new face until the next one. So the more you do, the more you're going to get. Consistency. Create a new business on top of the existing reorders. So whatever your reorders is on your customer base that you have now, create new. Say you want to get 50 new customers this year. What would it take? One a week? We have 52 weeks in the year. One new person a week. So you only want 25, then it's one every 2 weeks, right? So reach out and pass out. I want to say you're going to have to pass out 5 nowadays. Didn't used to be this high. 5 to 10 business cards to get one new customer. So make sure you get business cards to pass out or books. Business cards are a little cheaper than books to pass out. You can even put your QR code to your website on there. And a QR code, you might be able to create a QR code for the lookbook so they can just scan it and do it digitally or text them. I've told you in your contacts on your phone, put look and then book is the last name. Look is the first name, Book is the last name. And down below, and you can put the digital lookbook, the URL for the digital lookbook. So you just have to copy and paste and send. Stop being a restless wanderer. You're wandering. I wander. And sometimes I have to get refocused. Stop being a restless wanderer. You need your mission, your vision, and your purpose on why you're doing what you're doing. That all comes back to setting your goal and doing your goal poster. Why do you want to earn the money? Why do you want to earn the money? What brings you joy? You want to take a trip? Your kids? Your family? I'm not sure. But why do you want to do what you want to do? You know what I mean? See what else I want to tell you. Oh yeah. Words are really important. Um, words are really important. Confession's really important. Um, create a habit. I know. Set an alarm on your phone to listen to something positive. Positive affirmation, something positive every day. Set an alarm on your phone if you have to. I mean, sometimes I forget because it gets crazy. It gets crazy. I know how you are. I'm not the only one that it gets crazy. I used to have a routine. Now I've had to shift and pivot my routine. We are having what we are saying. So what are you telling in your head? Are you telling yourself you don't have enough time? Everything's a mess. What are you telling yourself, for Pete's sake? Whenever I keep telling myself, okay, so my son caught me and corrected me. I have the privilege of taking my girls to school, my granddaughters. However, Emma's gone on vacation this week, but I have the privilege of taking June and picking her up. And I was on the phone to Georgia and I said, I have to go get June. He goes, Mom, you don't have to go get her. You get to get her. You have to change the words that you're saying. I have the privilege of picking up my granddaughter from school. I get to go get her. I don't have to go get her. I get to go get her. There's a lot of people, and I know that I have had, sometimes my body doesn't want to work. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But some people that can't even walk. I go to the gym, there's a guy in there that can't even walk. He's been paralyzed. And he works out in a wheelchair. I'm just saying, I seen a guy in there with one of his legs gone. He had a prosthetic. I've seen all kinds of people at the gym and they're still going. I have all my legs and my arms and my body and most of my brain. So what's stopping you from doing what you need to do? You get to get up every morning and take care of your family or run the errands. You have a car. Maybe you don't have a car and you need a car. Work to get a car. You know what I'm saying? You get to do these things. It's a privilege. You're not in prison. You don't have to do it. You get to do it. It's a mindset, you guys. It's total mindset. You're having what you're saying. So what are you saying to yourself? What are you telling yourself? You're fat, you're ugly, your face is broke out, you got your hair looks terrible. What are you telling yourself in the morning? Because you're going to get what you speak. Speak positive things. Don't you remember I posted Holly Lowe's gardens. What you believe, you're not good enough. You look stupid sometimes. I posted that. I don't know if I still have it. I mean, I have it because I took what she said. Maybe I could, you guys won't be able to read my writing. I took what she said and I created an affirmation on it. I took what she said and made I believe affirmation. I mean, I can post my affirmation. It's like, I believe when I sit across from someone at an appointment, I make her feel great and important. I believe my income increases when I hold more appointments. And I know this. Um, so I believe people want to book with me. I believe when I hold enough appointments, I will have more than enough money in my bank account. I believe this business pays me like a business when I work it like a business. I believe my Gallup strengths that I'm a visionary, futuristic activator, achiever, and a learner. I believe I do know exactly what to do. I believe I can take my team from good to great, and I have my girls' best interests at heart. Your actions will pull the weeds out of my garden. Do you remember that? I trained on that. Well, that was my affirmation. If I can find it, I will definitely post it and you can rewatch it. I know it's probably somewhere in this group. But what we are saying, or what we want to have to be in alignment. We are living too much in reality and not in our supernatural capabilities. And reality, when you look at it, and I get on my computer, the news flashes across. And it's like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. Do you know the news is there to create fear? That's what they're there for. Create fear. That's the enemy. Not that the news is all bad, but you have to learn to discern, to watch it and get in fear, or to pray about it and then move on to what you need to do. So I got to tell you this. And I say this because for a hot second, it was fear. I went to deliver to the east side, right around Haley and Flower, 1 block west. As I'm driving up to the intersection, I was going to Haley and Flower, 1 block past that. But as I was driving up to the intersection of that, I see these 2 kids, teenagers, out in the street, no shirts on, pants, baggy pants, pushing each other. Then all of a sudden, the one kid takes the other kid, and I'm watching this, it's like in slow motion, slamming in the street, no shirt on, start beating the heck out of him. Well, the little chick, sister, whoever it was, come over and was trying to pull that other skinny kid off. She couldn't get him off. He put his hands around that kid's throat and was choking him as I went by. And I seen the old man, father, grandfather, whatever, sitting in the yard, was just about ready to get up and come out there. I'm going like, as I was thinking, it was July 3rd. And my son is sergeant at the Bakersfield Police Department. He had to work July 4th. I was thinking he was working that night, but he said no. So all of a sudden, fear set in. Oh my gosh, he's going to have a crazy night. He's going to have a crazy, because he works the east side. And so I was thinking he's going to have a crazy night. So fear set in for a hot minute. I delivered my products, got back in my car, and I went back by, and they were all gone. There was nobody there. There was a car missing. The whole thing was cleared up. But I started praying for my son. So nothing bad would happen to him when he was working. And he did work yesterday. I haven't checked in with him today to see how his night went, but I prayed, and then I felt peace. So what do you do? What do you do when fear sets in? Just saying. You living in the world and the times that things are going crazy, or do you stop for a minute and you pray and then move on and pivot and do what you got to do? I'm here to train you, here to teach you, here to mentor you, to let you learn life lessons on how to shift and be a better you. Remember that. We are living too much in a reality, not enough in our supernatural capabilities. Confession is similar to an affirmation, but it's lining up with the confession and affirmation to the Word of God. Confession can be used when you commit a crime or when you confess God's Word. 2 ways to confess. Everyone is confession, what they want for their life. We can be committing criminal activity when we are not walking in the obedience of what God has called us to do. Oh my gosh. You can be I don't know how else to put it. Criminal activity when you're not doing what God calls you to do. It's kind of like criminal. So you need to confess to God. Hey, God, sorry. What do you want me to do today? Hello. I say it all the time. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And he always directs me because we are robbing ourselves, our families, our communities, and the Mary Kay Company of our gifts to and expertise that we bring to the world. God created every one of us differently. You guys, hear my passion on this. It's taken me a while to grasp this. You know, when I was driving a truck working at night and I was praying out to God all the time, get me out of here, get me out of here. Oh God, get me out of here. And I was on a journey, and you are on a journey. However, you're robbing yourself and your family of not being who God created you to be. Creating a reality of what we want. What's your goals? Why are you doing it? Do you have the passion? Do you have the joy? 3 things to bring it to fruition: prayer, fasting, and giving. And let me see, I'm coming to the end here. I've already done clear goals, embrace change, growth mindset, continuous learning, healthy. You have to be healthy. What are you consuming? Like this morning, I got up, my body was not, I woke up and I had to take some ibuprofen before I even got up. I mean, like sometime in the middle of the night, I had to take, my head was hurting so bad. And so I took some ibuprofen and went back to bed for a little bit. But what are you taking? Like I was feeling kind of funky before this training, because I have joy in doing this. I have passion in doing this. I was feeling a little funky and I thought, what did I eat that makes me feel this way? What did I eat this morning that makes me feel this way? So when something makes you feel kind of, gives you a headache, makes your body hurt, what did you eat that's making you feel that way? And don't eat it anymore. Increase yourself in positive relationships. Understand your self-care. It's important. I take time to go to the chiropractor twice a month. I was getting massages once a month, but I have to get back into that because my muscles are not cooperating with me. But I do try to go to the gym 3 times a week. Like today is my gym day. I should have went yesterday, but I didn't want to because I was watching June. So today I'm going to the gym. Self-care, resilience, and perseverance. Learn to have the BBA, bounce back ability. Celebrate along the way on your journey. Celebrate. Have little celebrations. Like Tuesday night, we're going to have a celebration. Sometimes the self-care is just stop. We're not doing Mary Kay. We're just going to come together and have a potluck and just chill. Okay. And that's it. We're going to celebrate and we're going to relax. Is the harder path that is in front of you, could it possibly be the path closer to God? And it takes you where he wants you to be. The harder path that's in front of you, it's really hard to talk to people. The harder path that's in front of you, could it possibly be the path to get you closer to God? I don't know. And it takes you where he wants you to be, because it's all personal growth, you guys. Close the gap. Know your triggers. You know, when something sets you off and turns you around the other way. We were just talking about triggers earlier. I was telling my daughter-in-law about how I used to be before Mary Kay. And the doctor tried to put me on Zoloft, and I kept telling her it was hormones. Put me on all these antidepressants that didn't work. I got off. Because that's not what the problem was. The problem was my hormones, not antidepressants. I wasn't depressed. I was just riding a broom, you know, riding a broom when I got triggered. Riding a broom before that time of the month. I was riding a broom. My hormones were a whack. Another thing is cut the noise. Unfollow the people and disconnect with people that are negative. Cut the noise. I try to cut the noise. I am so focused on being the best me. And now that I have the responsibility, I get to have the responsibility of taking June in the morning, and Emma. But Emma's not here right now. She'll be here tomorrow. But getting to take June to school in the morning I have to I have to watch my words. I get to pivot my schedule and make adjustments and do what I used to do first thing in the morning to make it after I drop June off at school. Then do that before I do anything else. So cut the noise, unfollow the people, and disconnect with people that are negative. Move your body. That's part of the physical. That's part of the healthy. Move your body. I'm going to post Jen Bessiker's. Uh, she sent it to me because you guys aren't friends with hers, but I'm friends with hers. Uh, she's a top director, and it's funny. I lost weight, and then all of a sudden, I lost my weight, but I did my weight loss different. Wasn't trying to do the weight loss, but it came off. God had a different plan. But she sent me the tracking sheet and a 10-day tracking sheet for 30-day challenge with Jen and Eric. So I'll post it in here. I'll copy and put it in here um, to help you kickstart. And I will, I'll see if I can, you guys can follow her on Instagram. She lost weight. She eats healthy, cut sugar out. She's done a lot of stuff, lost 53 pounds, got really healthy, and she exercises. And so she says, weights 3 times a week, cardio every day. But what she does and what you do are going to be different. But it's all saying get healthy, get healthy. And another thing is music. When you're having a rough time, like sometimes I do, I'll just get in the car and instead of I put my phone to the side. Sometimes I go in silence just to talk to God, and sometimes I put my music up really loud and I sing. So find some music, find a song that you can play and break through the season that you're in. Sometimes you find a song and you play it over and over and over again. When I was in DIQ, it was Switchfoot, This Is Your Life. Look it up. That was my song. I have the CD in here. I bought the CD. And that, because, back then we had CD players. But that was my song. So look it up, Switchfoot, This Is Your Life. Are you who you want to be? And if not, you need to make a change. I'm just telling you. And do savers, have some silence, and what you speak. Those are things. Pause before you respond is another tip. Pause. Something happens, pause. Remember, I told you to pause. Pivot. I say pivot, but it's pause before you respond. Get enough sleep. I know that when I have 8 hours sleep, I feel better than when I have 6. I almost always get 7, but I'm going to try to shoot for 8 a night. Check your supplements of what you're taking. Are they working? Are they good? Are they natural? Are they healthy? If you're taking supplements, because sometimes you're putting poison in your body because they're not natural. And they can cause headaches. They can cause your body to ache. They can cause you not to think clearly. They can cause things. I started taking my vitamin B3 flush at night. Lo and behold, when I took it before, I would get into bed and go to sleep right away because the tingling starts as it's flushing your body out. Tingle, 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 tingle. They say if you take a baby aspirin like an hour before, it'll help with the tingling. But I didn't, and I haven't, never done that. But so normally it tingles, and then hours later, I'm fine. If I get up to go to the bathroom, I'm fine. However, like last night, hours after I had gone to bed, I got up to go to the bathroom and I went to lay back down. All of a sudden, my head was tingling. My face was tingling. I'm going like, no, because I just kind of want to go like this. But check the supplements. And the reason why I'm doing the flush, I'll just tell you, I don't know if you guys can look it up. I do the vitamin B3 flush. It's to flush out because bad veins and arteries run in my family. It's to flush out my veins and my arteries, clear it out, declog it all, so my heart can pump and it can go through without having a blockage. That's why I do the flush. It flushes everything out. So you can check it out, but get your own supplements, figure out what your body works best on. Clarity on the seminar win for this next year. Get clarity. Put that on your goal poster. What do you want to hit? Do you want to hit? We actually, I'll tell you, Unit Circle is going to take 4 people to hit. I'm a strategic person. I'm going to crunch the numbers and see how many people we need for Princess Court, how many people we need for the Court of Sales. Court of Sales went up to 45,000. But could you imagine if you did Princess Court at, I don't know if it went up, 20,000? That would be 10,000 this next year in your pocket. Could you imagine what you would do with an extra 10,000? Or if you did Court of Sales, 45,000, could you imagine what you would do with an extra $22,000, $22,500? Could you imagine? Okay, so, or actually that's retail, so it would be 22,500. So it'd be an extra $10,000 or $11,000 wholesale. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I did 49,130 this year. I've hit 52,000 before, but I don't think of it like that. I think of it as I shoot to do about 5,000 a month. And do I hit it all the time? No, I don't. But it's okay. Find your equal sign and what is besides the diamond. Okay, find your equal sign. And what besides the diamond? So anyway, set your goal. Figure out what it is you want. Clarity on the seminar win. Okay, this one's big because we talked about it. Your 4 walls, the people within are affected the most. Your 4 walls, your house. Those people are affected the most when you don't hit your goal. Those people are affected the most when you aren't consistent. Those people are affected the most when you don't have joy or passion and you're not personally growing. They're affected the most. They're going to see your business as not a good business because you're not growing. You're not personally growing and you're not bringing more joy to the household. You're not teaching them things. They learn by watching you. June watches me and she learns by watching me. Emma watched me, so she learned by watching me. Justin watched me make calls to customers over and over and over. His customer service phone calls, when he calls somebody, it's like a whole nother person. He calls them and it's like, huh? How can I help you? What would you like? It's just a whole nother person than what he is when he's ratting and raving around here and he gets on that phone to make a call. Total different. Total like day and night. So your 4 walls, the people within are affected the most with the win or without. Okay, so if you hit your goal, when you're making your goal poster, envision this. When you hit your goal at the end of next year or the end of the month or the end of the quarter, when you hit your goal, how is it going to affect your family? How's it going to affect your family? For the positive, or are you going to be negative and be grouchy? If you don't hit your goal, how's it going to affect your family? Because the money you're going to make when you hit your goal, what are you going to do with it? How's it going to affect your family? You guys are going to celebrate, go out to ice cream, do something because you hit your goal to be a star? And if you don't hit your goal, what are you going to do? What is your hesitation costing you? By hesitating, what is it costing you? Okay. Remember, be fearless. Have compassion. Have passion. Do all the things you need to do to be consistent. Do it all. Don't be grouchy. If you're having a grouchy moment, have a pity party, get over it, pivot, and do something else. Readjust. You know what I do? when I'm having a down moment or falling asleep or something, I get up and I move, physically move, go do something and come back. And it'll change your attitude. Okay, you guys, that's it. I'm done. I know I went really long, but I had a lot of notes. So Monday night, 5 p.m., the vision workshop. I think I posted it here. I'll bump it up in the feed so you get it. I hope this was beneficial to you. I hope that you learned something. I hope you took a couple of notes. I'm not really sure, but it is July 5th. We have a huge goal for our unit. And what I know is I will be working because I am going to set myself up for success. I am going to set my goals and I'm going to reach out to people I normally wouldn't reach out to do a facial or add to my team because we need to double in our unit size. We don't need it. We want it. We want the growth. We want the growth. I'm not begging people to join my team, but I'm asking them if they would like to change their life and earn a little extra money because I will teach people how to make money because I've been through different stages, different journeys, through all the stages. I've had ups and I've had downs. And I'm sure that if I can't teach you how to make money, then we have a problem. We have a disconnect and we have to check and see what the disconnect is. Okay. Okay, you guys, have a great Saturday. That's it. Sorry I took so long. I'm really passionate about what I'm trying to teach you because that's why I'm here. God brought me here. He wouldn't leave me in this business this long to not bring the passion. Be the light of Jesus. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.